tomorrow and you didn't do what you should have done today, go to God. Ask for his mercy because it endures forever. And you must remember that. To him that smote Egypt in their firstborn, for his mercy endureth forever. And brought out Israel from among them, for his mercy endureth forever. With a strong hand and with an outstretched arm, for his mercy endureth forever. Remember, there's a way out of your mess, and it's JESUS.
Where can you buy a brand new Nissan with a lifetime warranty? Kingston Pike. Hey, folks, Gerald Anderson with Ted Russell Nissan. You heard it right. Every new Ted Russell Nissan comes with a lifetime warranty, and that's a long, long time. Ted Russell Nissan on Kingston Pike.
Good morning and welcome to AM 1380 WYSH and Ask Your Neighbor. Ask Your Neighbor can also be heard and seen on our website, WYSHradio.com. And if you are in Anderson, Roane, or Morgan County and have Comcast cable, you can watch Ask Your Neighbor on BBB TV Channel 12. Ask Your Neighbor is the program where you call in and do just that. Ask Your Neighbor. Do you have a comment? Do you have a problem? Or do you have a question? Then call in and ask your neighbor. 865-457-1380 or toll free at 877-711-4005. And for those of you that might be listening or watching on the internet, you can email from our website, WYSHradio.com. Just click on the Contact Us button and email your questions. Now sit back and listen as listeners throughout East Tennessee and the entire world answer your questions on Ask Your Neighbor on BBB TV 12 and AM 1380 WYSH.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome into Tuesday morning. Ask Your Neighbor. This morning, we have guests in studio with us. Jennifer Lee of the American Museum of Science and Energy. Good morning, Jennifer. How are you, ma'am?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. So, what's going on with the Museum of Science and is it still the American Museum of Science and Energy? When I grew up, I think it was called the Atomic Museum.
Museum of Atomic Energy.
Yeah, exactly. So.
Yep. That was a Carterism back when the Department of Energy was founded in the 70s.
Really?
He wanted it to be a little bit more friendly and approachable, so he said, why don't we give it a rebrand?
Okay.
And recommended the American Museum of Science and Energy name.
Well, that's neat. So what have we got going on down there that we're talking about today?
Yeah, absolutely. This month we are hosting the K-25 Employees Reunion. It's the second annual one that's been put on over the past little bit. Mm-hmm. It was put on last year by Brad Parrish and Pam Toon, who both had worked at the K-25 site. We had such a good time with them last year that we said, why don't we get together with you guys this year and do it again? So we're going to be having that on Saturday, April the 26th.
Okay, and what all does that entail? And anybody that worked there invited to come?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Anybody who had any kind of involvement is more than welcome to come and bring their family. So we've had former plant managers who are coming. We have people who worked for maybe one of the adjacent nuclear companies or the DOE and wasn't a K-25 employee per se, but they worked on the site for different projects, and especially people who did remediation work there, things like that. If you had touched the site at all, you are more than welcome to come.
And then is it an all-day event, or is there certain specific programs that are going to happen?
Yeah, it's noon to 4.
Noon to 4.
We're doing free admission to the K-25 Atomic History Center that's out there. That is our sister museum that's run by our 501. And we're doing free admission to anybody who comes for the reunion that day. We're going to have giveaways. We have free T-shirts, free hats. We have a free ice cream truck that's
good.
Coming. We're
free
excited
ice
about
cream
that
is
one.
Always good.
Right, I'm never upset about that. We have food trucks who will be there. We're going to have some guest speakers. We're going to have Ken Reuter from UCOR. We're going to have Steve Goodpasture, Paul Wasilko, Gordon Fee, Alan Lowe, our executive director, to talk about what's going on at the site. And then outside of that, just general commiserating with people who you've maybe not seen over the past few years, and getting to learn more about what we're doing to take care of the K-25 footprint.
That's cool. Now, do you also are you associated with the museum, or is this event just taking place at the museum that you're involved in?
Both. So it's happening in the Heritage Center.
Okay.
So we are the AMC Foundation, and we operate both AMC and the K-25. So what the pairing of us together with the retirees has done is helped us turn this a little bit into a fundraiser for the K-25, but we did set up a K-25 legacy fund. So any support that comes through, any donations that day is going to take care of the K-25 site, to the upcoming interpretive building that's going to be out there, the platform building that looks over the old K-25 footprint, to the upcoming rehabilitation of Portal 4, one of the original security portals that's out there, and any artifacts that come our way. So we also do oral history reports and artifact donation that day. We had tons of people come up to us last year with old uniforms and badges and everything else in between that we were not prepared for. So we are prepared this year for people who want to come in, and taking care of that stuff takes money and space and everything in between. So that's what that is so that when we are collecting these really amazing histories and artifacts from the site, we're doing what we can to also preserve them and keep those stories ongoing. So it's been a beautiful partnership with the retirees who put it together last year to kind of keep this going and keep the momentum and the history of K25 at the forefront.
Stephanie Wells, our director of tourism, comes in once a month and we talk about things, and it seems like a lot of times we don't realize or take advantage of some of the things that we have right here in our area, like the museum. Tell people a little bit about it that might be here and not really understand what we have available to us down there.
Yeah, I think we all know it's a secret city, right? Exactly. And I think sometimes we take that mantra a little bit too much to heart, which during, World War II, it was imperative for national security. But now I think we're just a little bit we're not proud enough about the work that we do that we don't sing it from the same heights that we should. People don't know what's going on in their own backyard with what kind of nuclear enrichment companies are out there and the new technologies that even come out of ORNL and everything else in between. So there's just amazing, crazy sci-fi happening in your backyard that you don't know of. And K25 itself kind of gets lost when you talk about Y12 and ORNL because those are the big two that everybody knows. But K25 was a mile-long building. It was the largest industrial building at the time and was so impactful to generations of families who had their grandparents and their parents, and then they eventually went on to work at it. And if it's just so ingrained to the culture of that western half of Oak Ridge and Anderson County and Roane County and even Morgan and Scott for a lot of the people who worked there from the 40s to the 87 when it was shut down, and people who did remediation afterwards. So, and just the impact that K25 had in itself on World War II was huge. We intended to build a city for 13,000 people, and just with K25 alone is what brought it up to 40. Just with how much work was needed to be done on that site and how huge the scope and scale of that footprint even is. And then continuing all that work through the Cold War and how essential that was to the nuclear work being done that was really part and parcel to that Cold War as it went on. So it's little undersung stories like that that come out of K25 and the work that people did and how all of that helped develop into centrifuge technology, which is what we use now with our small modular reactors. So it's all the footprints that led up to it.
All the stuff going up. And what are the operation times of the museum when folks can come down and go through and learn all about that stuff?
Yeah, we're open 7 days a week. We're open 9 to 5 Monday through Saturday, and I believe 1 to 5 on Sunday.
Okay, very good. Well, that's very interesting stuff. And I know that I've said before, sometimes we're right here in the midst of it, and so we don't really understand what all happened down there, and we don't take time to go. We travel everywhere else and go see what's going on in other people's places, but we don't take a lot of time to do that here. And for anybody that was involved with K25, the event's going on the 26th, right? And 12 to 4. What else do you want to tell them about either the museum or the event or anything else that we just haven't asked you or that you'd like folks to know about?
Yeah, we welcome anybody to come join us and ask questions, and especially to meet with the people who worked on that site because, like we've said, the stories that they have are amazing. We had a gentleman who came last year, and I asked him how his tour was, and he said, it was really amazing. I found myself on your wall.
Well, that's cool.
And, as my position as a public historian, we live in a really unique situation to where anything that I've done in early East Tennessee history, I'm 6 generations removed from a firsthand account of anything.
Sure.
But we still have that here. So don't take your neighbors and your relatives for granted who have these really unique histories. Ask them those questions while you can. And that's why we're really excited to bring, hopefully, I think we're looking at about 500 people out right now to the K25 site to reminisce and talk about all the good work that we did, celebrate that, and hopefully collect some stories along the way.
You're talking about some of the things you collected, artifacts that you weren't really ready for last year. Do you expect more of that this year?
I hope so.
What kind of, I mean, uniforms, what kind of other things? Because I assume once you get those, you preserve them and then they're there for folks to see and reminisce with. But what kind of stuff are you expecting?
Yeah, the one that I actually took off with last year because she wouldn't let me leave without it was a reunion hat, I want to say, from maybe about 30, 40 years ago. And there was a sweet older woman who just came to me and said, "This is yours now," and put it in my hands and walked away. But I think it was a K-25 hootenanny hat, if I remember right. But
Okay.
We had people show up in their uniforms that they wore to work at K-25.
And that's cool.
And badges and old work reports and things like that. There was a gentleman who showed up with an accordion folder and said, "I don't know what to do with this. My family doesn't know what to do with this. Do you guys?" And we said, "Yeah,
Sure.
we do. Hold on one second," and had to prep everything for it.
Wow.
And call my curator and everything else in between and try to orchestrate everything out for that. So you never know what to expect, and that's one of the best things about being in history and museums is that it's something new every day. So I look forward to the surprises.
Outside of doing things like this, how are you getting the word out to people that may be involved with K-25 and then getting the invitation out to them to let them know what's going on?
Yeah, we try to send it out into as many local papers and in doing events like this. We also have a very popular K-25 retirees Facebook page that anybody is welcome to join if they had same situation, any type of involvement at K-25. And that one's been a very, very good source.
Good.
And active. That's the word I was
Sure.
looking for. A very active group getting back and forth on updates at K-25.
Like, do Y12 and or the lab or and whatever have anything like this, or is this just something that's exclusive to the K-25, or do you know?
It's growing,
Okay.
I will say, because I'm sure that people have seen there's been DOE honor picnics and things like that over the past little bit. I keep joking with one of our committee members that we set a trend off last year because a lot of them are also the nuclear health organizations. So we're partnering with Nuclear Care Partners this year. Nuclear Workers Alliance is joining us. We also have a medical company from Paducah, things like that. So a lot of the organizations that take care of sick nuclear workers have been really helpful in getting this information out to their groups as well.
Do you have things set up this day during the program to help people, with information about things like that? Maybe former workers, do you make that available to them as well?
Yeah, so all of our sponsors will have a tent and table that people are welcome to interact with. Nuclear Care Partners being one, Nuclear Workers Alliance is another, but then we have other people within the nuclear company who will be out. So UCOR and Kairos will be there just to talk about what kind of developments are coming up in the Heritage Center. But those will be available through our nuclear health organizations who are currently partnered with us. We have a pharmacy as well, Pro Compounding Pharmacy out of Bristol, I believe, or somewhere in the Johnson City, Tri-Cities area will be there too. And they can work on things like the health card that goes with your Medicaid and things like that. So they'll be there and they'll be more than helpful to whatever a person might need in those situations.
You can have information and helpful information available, as well as just getting to the camaraderie of being with former friends and people that were part of K-25.
Right.
All right, fantastic. So it's coming up on April 26th, noon to 4.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be actually at the museum, right?
It's going to be in the Heritage Center. So we'll have signage for it. We're going to be right off the side of the road. We'll have golf carts to take you up to see Portal 4 and the Interpretive Center and the K-25 Atomic History Center, but the main bulk of it will be down just right off of the Turnpike.
Fantastic. Well, I hope, how many did you say you had last year? 500?
It was about 500 to 600, so we're hoping to have that same amount again.
Wow. Well, if it's growing, like you think, you might have more.
Oh, absolutely. We hope.
Good luck. Well, I hope it goes well, and I appreciate you coming by and talking about it. And if you don't mind, just send us an update, email us an update on how everything went, and keep us up to date on things that you're doing. We have our community bulletin board. We're happy to put stuff on there for you and try and keep people up to date with what you're doing and events that you're having. And especially when I notice, we have we've been having a lot of events or a lot of programs about trying to get people help that they might need that they didn't know that was out there from their times at the plant and stuff. So anything you're doing like that we can get, former workers information about, We've got a lot of them in our area, and happy to do it.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Anything else that we need to cover that we haven't?
If you're looking for information on the event, you can find it at our website, amc.org. You can find it on our Facebook page, LinkedIn, Instagram, all that fun stuff.
AMC.org, is that what you said?
Yep, amse.org.
AMSE.
Join the Facebook page if you're looking to. We share things all the time throughout there. And you can also contact me anytime too. Which that's available on the website as well.
Gotcha.
If you have any questions about it, we have an online RSVP link that you can find. But if you're old school and you just like to pick up the telephone and give me a call, that's fine as well. You can call the museum anytime. Give us a heads up, and that way we just have you down for the food truck so that they know how many people to expect that day.
And that's all on amse.org.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic. Well, nice to meet you. I appreciate you coming in, and we'll do it again next year.
That sounds good. I'm looking forward to it.
All right. Jennifer Lee from the American Museum of Science and Energy, and talking about the K25. What's the actual name of the event?
K20, the long form is second annual K25 Employees Reunion. We just call it the K25 Reunion.
Coming up on April 26th, noon to 4, and we'll put information about it up on our website as well. And we'll put the contact information from amse.org on our website and link you to theirs in case you do have any questions. Thank you again for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. All right, guys, we'll wrap things up for a Tuesday Ask Your Neighbor. If you guys just want to stick around here, great classic country music all morning long on WYSH.
As a homeowner, I'm always looking for peace of mind, especially when I have a costly, unplanned expense, like a cooling system repair or replacement. That's when I turn to the eScore Quality Contractor Network. They're the pros who've been specially trained and approved by TVA and your local power company. The quality contractors are licensed and insured, so you can be assured the job will be done right and inspected for free. Contact your local power company or visit energyright.com to learn more.
Hi, this is Jim Miller with WYSH Local Information News. Remember, if you see news happen, email me, jim@wysHradio.com, or message us on the WYSH Facebook page. Each day, we bring you the latest in local news. Mike Witcher has your weather forecast, and Pete Michaels is in the sky with the traffic. So we've got you covered, and if you see news happen, let us know. Your source for local information news since 1960, WYSH.
Freedom Motors is expanding, now with 2 locations, one in Powell and a brand new spot right in the heart of Clinton. Need a car, a truck, a work van? We've got a huge selection of quality pre-owned vehicles, all inspected and backed by a Carfax report. Worried about financing? Don't be. Whether you have good credit, bad credit, or no credit at all, we work with local credit unions and national lenders to get you approved fast. Deals are hot and vehicles are moving fast. Don't wait. Stop by today. Powell, 7675 Clinton Highway. Clinton, 135 South Charles G. Severs Boulevard. Call 865-269-4090 or 865-362-5168. Freedom Motors.
Keep freedom rolling. Keep freedom rolling. Keep freedom rolling on down the line.
Thank you for listening to AM 1380 WYSH and Ask Your Neighbor. Make sure you tune in at 10 a.m. each day, Monday through Friday, right here on AM 1380 WYSH and BBB TV 12. Or listen live online at WYSHradio.com. And remember, if you have a question, comment, or problem, call in tomorrow and ask your neighbor. Or email from our website. It's Ask Your Neighbor. Thanks for listening.
Welcome to Between the Lines. What are we up to now?